This is a really interesting case study. It's probably the kind of situation that almost all of us have encountered. A situation in which someone said something to us that we found to be racially offensive, or where we said something to someone else that they found to be offensive. So this is a situation that we're going to run into, either personally, in other words, either in a situation in which we're directly involved, or a situation where we observe someone else saying something along these lines. So it's really important to try to get clear in our mind, what is a racist comment? And that's what this dilemma helps us to think through. There's a broad definition of racist and a narrow definition of racist. And I want to start with the broad understanding of the term racist. For a lot of people, any comment is racist if it's based on racial stereotypes. It doesn't even have to be a demeaning comment. It could be a positive racial stereotype. This group of people is good at this sort of activity. Or it could be a neutral racial stereotype. This group of people likes this kind of food. This group of people dresses a certain way, right? But the problem here is with the stereotype. When we use a stereotype, we're failing to see people as individuals. Instead, this person comes up to me, I see them as a token or a representative of a group of people. That way I don't have to interact with them on a truly human level. That's what's problematic with treating people in a stereotypical fashion. So in a broad sense, any comment that's based on racial stereotypes would be racist, no matter what the intent was behind the comment. Now, a more narrow definition of racist, and it's narrow in that there are going to be fewer cases of it, is that a comment is racist when it uses racial stereotypes for the purpose of demeaning the other person. So a comment is racist when it's a comment that is designed to and is good at humiliating someone because of their race, or making you feel superior because of your race. So the issue with this more narrow definition of racist is this a comment meant to demean the other person and to elevate oneself because of race? Now, when we turn to this question about the comment made to Cecile, I found that many students believe that this comment was racist. Not because it was meant to demean Cecile, but because of this broader definition, that it was based on a stereotype. When this person says, I don't think of you as black, she's saying, I have a stereotype about what black people are like, and I kind of think all black people are the same, and you don't meet that stereotype. That is offensive in this broader sense because she's not seeing Cecile as an individual. She just sees her as a representative of a group. And so many people think this comment was racist merely because it's based on stereotypes. Some people will say, no, this comment was not racist, and I've found that generally speaking, people who think that this comment is not racist believe that the intent of the woman who said this to Cecile was not to demean her, not to belittle her. Instead, this person was just sort of making an observation. And some people will say things like this, I don't think in terms of color, I don't see color, I just see human beings. Now, literally speaking, that statement's always false. We all see color if we see, unless we're blind. But we're trying to communicate when we say something like that race doesn't matter to us. And it could be that the woman who said this to Cecile was making that sort of a comment. And so these are the kinds of considerations I've seen people bring up in response to this kind of a case. In a broader definition of racist, it's problematic when we use any kind of stereotypes based on race, because we're not really appreciating the individual. In a more narrow sense, a racist comment is one that is designed to make the other person feel lesser because of their race. There's a number of other issues that we could talk about, and you've touched on some of them in your assignment for today. One thing I find very interesting is the question of whether or not friends should ever joke about race. You find, actually, I've known married couples who are of different races who joke about race with one another. They find it as a way of sort of celebrating the fact that race is not an issue in their relationship. But I've talked to other people who find this really problematic, and they think at some level, if we're really going to get beyond race consciousness, if we're going to get beyond this deep deep-seated sort of sense of discrimination, that we need to stop joking about these kind of things. So I'm interested in hearing what you said in the assignment on that front. At any rate, I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again soon.